Hello, this is Crystal Racing here with the 2019 Monaco Grand Prix review, and as you can tell, I'm in a terrible mood. So let's start off with today's reject of the race, and the only retiree of the race, Charles Leclerc, the golden child, the wonder kid, the chosen one, yes. And the hometown favourite drove like a complete idiot today. Yes, it was not his fault that he ended up qualifying 16th thanks to Ferrari messing up with their strategy and forgetting about the fact that it was such an urgent need for him to get out and improve his lap time to avoid getting knocked out in Q1. But as it was, his youthful immaturity and desperation got the better of him, where after making a brilliant overtake on Grosjean at Rascasse, Leclerc tried to do exactly the same move on Hulkenberg at the same corner a few laps later, only to realise that Hulkenberg was a lot more aware and a lot more sharp to the danger and found himself slammed in and even did a little spin when he got pushed out. As it was, the spin did a lot of damage to his floor and he found the car to be absolutely undrivable, and for that performance I'm going to have to give him 3 out of 10. Just not good enough. And let's be honest here, folks. You know, if he had been a lot more patient, he could have finished at least 6th today, which is not good. Next up is the guy who finished last, Giovinazzi. Tapped was it Kubica or Russell? One of them winning. Well, yeah, Giovinazzi spun one of the Williams and then ended up causing a bit of a traffic log, and then after that he did nothing. 4 out of 10. Next up is Robert Kubica, who once again was a slower Williams, and frankly, well, you know, whilst he had a good start, I mean, frankly, he fell back and ended up finishing 18th, so that's 5 out of 10. Next up, it's Kimi Raikkonen, with his worst finish of the season in 17th place. Alfa Romeo attempted to gamble on Kimi, but stretching out his soft tyres out for as long as possible, only to find out around lap 46 that he was holding at least 5 or 6 cars up, and he ended up. And then after he swapped onto medium tyres, his pace was nowhere. It was just nowhere. The car is absolute garbage. I'm so fed up. 5 out of 10 for Kimi. Next up, it's Lance Stroll, who finished 16th. And my goodness me, good grief, his driving absolutely stank today. Yes, I know he showed a lot more enthusiasm in his performance than he did last year, where he openly admitted that he wanted to not even bother racing when he was driving a Williams around this track in 2018. But as it was, Lance Stroll was a bit racy, but not only that, of course, when he was defending from Kimi Raikkonen, he nudged into Kimi a few times, did a bit of damage to Kimi's car. And yet, despite the stewards decided to give Lance Stroll no penalty whatsoever because, you know, his dad brings money to the sport, so they can't really do anything. So really, frankly, Lance Stroll finished 16th, but of course he got beat by his teammate again. 5 out of 10. Now, let's go on to the next person. 15th was George Russell, who had a brilliant race today. I'm going to have to give him 10 out of 10. Very well done. And, yeah, I think, you know, despite the fact his Williams is really slow, he's really showing his talent. And to be honest, I'm beginning to think he might be an outside bet to drive a Mercedes next year. Next up, it's Nico Hulkenberg, who finished 14th. He was just slow all day, to be honest. Yes, he got involved in that incident with Leclerc, but frankly, once again, he got beat by Ricciardo very easily. And I have to give him 6 out of 10 because, you know, whilst Renault have been struggling of late, Hulkenberg has not really helped himself at all. Next up in 13th place is Sergio Perez, who, for Racing Point, did a good job, out-qualified Lance Stroll by 6/10 of a second, but unfortunately his car wasn't quick enough, so I'll just give him 8 out of 10 for doing well today. 12th place for Kevin Magnussen, who gets 7 out of 10 for Haas. he looked quite quick early on. He got up into a very strong point scoring position, but then when he had to go into the pits, he dropped down quite a bit, and then he ended up finishing 12th. 7 out of 10. 11th place was Lando Norris, who also ranked strongly, but of course as the race wore on after his pit stop, he couldn't quite keep up, and he finished about 5 seconds behind Grosjean, who of course I will get on to. 8 out of 10 points for Norris. 10th place and the last of the point scorers was Romain Grosjean, who because of a 5-second penalty finished behind Ricciardo. Grosjean gets 8 points out of 10 for me because he was running very strongly, but of course, as Grosjean always does, he falls back. So really, there's not a lot for me to say. And but in 9th place was Daniel Ricciardo, who for me is the driver of the day. Now, when you consider the fact that he managed to close a 14-point gap deficit in the last 8 laps or so, that is a brilliant performance. Absolutely closed up by about 2 seconds a lap. That's a 10 out of 10 there. And frankly, whilst Ricciardo did struggle early on this season, he's found his best form again. 8th place was Alex Albon, who gets 9 out of 10 for me. Drove very well, very solid race, kept out of trouble, did what he needed to do. Well done, Alex. 7th place was Danny Kvyat, who for me drove probably one of the best races I've seen since him coming back for Toro Rosso. 10 out of 10. Same thing as I said for Albon. Danny did a brilliant job. 6th place was Carlos Sainz, who drove the absolute wheels of his McLaren, and of course because of his big point score today, he brings up McLaren into 4th place into the Constructors' Championship with 30 points, keeping them quite a bit clear of all the other teams in the Formula 1.5 battle. 10 out of 10 for Carlos. Then in 5th place we've got Pierre Gasly, who actually only finished about less than 10 seconds behind the lead battle, but once again his pace was really average. He did an extra pit stops just so they could get the extra point for fastest lap, but really frankly I've got to give him 8 out of 10. 4th place was Max Verstappen. What can I say really? He drove the wheels of that Red Bull. Yes, he was involved in that controversial incident earlier on when he tried to, where he was involved in squeezing Bottas when they were both released from the pits, and he got a 5-second penalty. But I've got to give him 9 out of 10. He tried as hard as he could, but as for that move on Lewis Hamilton at the chicane, well, all I can say is at least he tried to do something, because frankly, when you consider the fact he had a 5-second penalty, that was his only chance of getting past Lewis and then opening up a buffer so they could finish as far up as he could, considering the 5-second penalty that would have affected his final result. 3rd place was Valtteri Bottas. He ran 2nd from behind Lewis before of course everyone pitted on the safety car. He came out in 4th place because, he was forced to halt. He was actually a bit slow coming into the pits just so that he could create a buffer so they wouldn't get held up in his pit stop. Only, of course, he ended up coming out in 4th place anyway. And because of Max's penalty, that's the only reason why he's on the podium. But frankly, all I can say is he didn't really do anything impressive. 2nd place was Sebastian Vettel, who did drive a very good race today, thanks to Ferrari's choosing to put him on hard tyres, which helped him out a lot. And Vettel's tyres were in very good shape all race. Vettel played a very, very drove a very intelligent race, not getting too close to Hamilton or Verstappen, just so they could cool his tyres down. And best result of the season. And of course, not only that, 10 out of 10 for Vettel, and the best result, and of course that means that Mercedes' run of 1-2s has finally come to an end. Hallelujah. Yes, but of course we all know in Canada normal service will resume. And of course finally on to the winner, Lewis Hamilton. 10 out of 10. His tyres were falling apart. The driver was moaning, crying like a little bitch on the radio, but Lewis got the job done, so that's 10 out of 10. Thank you for watching. This has been Crystal Racing, and I'll see you again next time.